Welcome to Rick's Cooking 2. Today we're going to do stuffed peppers. They're not your traditional stuffed peppers. We like the sausage to be pre-cooked. It's going to be a hot Italian breakfast sausage. And we're using poblano peppers. I slice them in half and layer them with a little cheese. Put the sausage on top, and then a little more cheese. And then we're going to use Alfredo sauce instead of red sauce for these peppers. We're going to use both Parmesan cheese and mozzarella cheese, just because that's what I happen to have on hand. They'll bake on in the oven on 375 for anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour, depending upon the tenderness of the pepper, your preference. I like mine kind of well done. My wife likes it a little bit al dente, a little bit, so we'll try and hit it in between. Okay, so we fried up the sausage. Here it is sitting and draining. I always drain my sausage. I don't like the grease in with the sauce. So you can see quite a bit of grease is drained off on the paper towels. I've got my pan already sprayed. And what I do is put a thin layer of the sauce that I'm going to use in the bottom of the pan, just to make sure that the peppers don't burn. And then we'll put the peppers in and kind of go from there. Um, my family really likes these peppers this way. We used to do it where we just cut the tops of the peppers off and stuffed it, sausage and cheese down inside. But what you wind up with then is huge bites of sausage. And they prefer it this way. Not only is it easier to eat, but you get a more even flavor as you're eating it. So it takes a little bit of extra time, a couple of little extra steps, but we think it's well worth the effort um, to do it this way. And Yeah, hopefully, if you try it, you will like it. Like I said, my family has. I've been doing this way for several years now, and it's one of their favorite dishes. Um, and you can do a pasta with it if you want, or garlic bread, cheesy garlic bread, just whatever you want to have to go along with it. Um, if I was feeding my son and my grandson, I'd definitely have a pasta. I'll need something more than this to fill them up. But since it's just me and my wife, this will probably suffice. And maybe we'll have a piece of bread with it, and maybe not.
And if your son was here and your grandson, you'd be using hot peppers,
That's true. That
not
is true.
not regular peppers.
That is true. That is their preference. They would rather have the hot.
We don't need the hot. We're hot enough without it.
That's right. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Let's see. I need small pieces to put there.
Oh, I think we left two pieces over here.
Yeah.
Over there.
Oh, all right. Got it. All right. So it's going to be a little tight, but we're going to squeeze them in there.
Oh, we'll find them. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We'll get them out of there. Now, do you always use the Alfredo sauce?
No, like I said, traditionally we would make it with a red sauce, but here recently we discovered that we do like the Alfredo sauce along with the red sauce. So today we're using Alfredo sauce. It's truly your preference, what you prefer, what you like. Alfredo gives it just a little different flavor. But yeah, I like it both ways.
I like it both ways, but as we know, I'm not real big on red sauce, so this would be my favorite way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you like it better this way, and I don't mind cooking it this way. So give me.
So you put cheese in the peppers and then the sausage on top?
Yep, put cheese, a little bit of cheese in the peppers.
Okay.
Not a lot, just a little bit, and then the sausage on top. And that way, as it bakes, the sausage kind of sinks down into the cheese, and then we'll top it with cheese, of course. We are a cheesy family. We really like our cheese. So normally in most of the dishes we cook, there's going to be some cheese of some form or another going to be part of the dish. So I'm going to just do this by hand. It's the easiest way to get it in there. Yeah, and you can see I'm just kind of sprinkling it on top the peppers. If it don't all make it into the peppers, that's fine because you can scoop it out as you're dishing up the peppers and serve it up with the peppers. And you can see that I've got it chopped up kind of fine. Again, it just makes it easier to get it into the pepper, and also makes it a lot easier when you're eating it, cutting through it. You don't have big chunks of pepper or big chunks of sausage. I'm sorry, that you're trying to cut through. Um, so this is like I said, it takes a little bit longer this way, but it's we like it a whole lot better. Um, and this is 1 pound of sausage. So you could put more if you prefer, but 1 pound seems to be sufficient for 4 or 5 peppers. It will work. You'll have plenty of sausage in there. And as you can see, the draining process really pays off. You can see I've got a lot of grease soaked up in this towel that otherwise would be in your sauce. And so you're saving yourself a little bit of calories and maybe some heartburn.
Yeah, maybe.
Um,
That pepper over there on that end. Yes, that one needs some. Very good.
all right.
Looks yummy already.
I'm
But then
sure.
I know the outcomes.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be good. All right, so we've got all the sausage in there. Let me get rid of this plate.
Look at those.
And now we'll just add a little extra cheese for the baking process, and then the final topping will be some cheese to melt it. And again, this is shredded Parmesan. We just happen to have some on hand, and so I decided we'd use that to today's dish along with the mozzarella. I don't have as much of the mozzarella, so I'm going to save what I have of it for the top layer when we're ready to brown it before we take it out of the oven. All right, so that's it. It's ready to go in the oven. Like I said, it'll be 375 for about 45 minutes to an hour, depending upon your preference. Now, I take it back. That's not it. I normally also spoon a little bit of sauce on each one. My wife does not like a lot of sauce, but if you don't get a little bit of sauce on the top, then things could burn or get a little bit crunchy, and we don't want that to happen. So it's again, it's a matter of preference what you like. We're using a creamy Alfredo basil sauce, so the sauce is going to have a little bit of extra spice in it with the basil, and that will just add some additional flavor to our peppers. Like I said, if you decide you want to try this dish, I'm sure you'll find that you will enjoy it. It doesn't really take a whole lot of time to prepare. It probably took me maybe 10-15 minutes to cut up the peppers and get the seeds out of them and get them ready to put in the dish. The longest thing probably in the prep work was frying up the sausage. Um, so it's not a real time consuming dish to make. And you can, like I said, serve it with a pasta. You can serve it with buttered noodles, cheesy bread or garlic bread, whatever you'd like to have to go with it. And if you were like me and my wife, you'd probably just eat the peppers on their own. I think that's going to be good for the sauce. Okay, so we will put it in the oven and see you in about 45 minutes or so. Okay, so it's baked for about 45 minutes. As you can see, it's nice and cheesy, the bubbling a little bit. So we've decided we're going to add some fresh homegrown tomatoes to half of this before we put the additional cheese on, and then put it back in to finish it off. These tomatoes are awesome. And yes, I'm prejudiced. We grew them ourselves, so. But they really are. They're really good, really good. And we thought it would add just a little extra flavor to this dish. So we'll get those put in there. And because I like salt on my tomatoes, we'll add a little salt to this. And oh, here it is.
A little?
Okay, little. A
Little.
little.
A little
A
salt.
little. And so now we're going to top it off with the rest of our mozzarella cheese. And we'll put some over the tomatoes, and the rest of it. And we'll be adding some more Parmesan cheese. Like I said, we are cheese eaters, so we don't skimp on the cheese. We make sure that there's plenty of cheese on
Yeah,
our
and
dishes.
they can add what they want,
Yeah.
more or less.
More or less, it's all a matter of taste. So some additional Parmesan over here. And I did have this covered in the oven for the 45 minutes so that the peppers would cook faster and wouldn't get dried out. So just make sure that you do that before you put it in the oven to keep things from drying out. So we'll go ahead and pop it back in the oven for about 10 minutes, just long enough for the cheese to melt because everything is cooked and for the tomatoes to get heated up, and we'll be ready to eat. All right, give us 10 minutes. Okay, so it's done. As you can see, the cheese is completely melted. It's nice and bubbly. So we're going to go ahead and
Oh, that looks
take
good.
one of these out of here and see how it might taste. And I think I'm going to need to cut it a little bit because the peppers are kind of big. So we'll cut through one and get it up here on the plate.
Now, we've never had it with tomatoes, so you're going to have to
I
tell me
know.
how it tastes
I know.
with the tomato.
All right, so we'll give that a try. And the pepper's just a little bit al dente, so I think my wife will like it. The tomato should add some extra flavor to it. Very good.
Am I
I'm glad I put the
gonna
tomato.
like it with the tomato?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll
Yep.
take your word for it.
Very good. So if you enjoyed the video, please like it, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Have a blessed day.